Well, hopefully she'll get on here in just a minute. We don't have a tremendous amount of things, but we do have some things that are somewhat concerning. Did you all get my agenda a little bit?
We did.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we've got some things that we're going to need to talk about, in particular, holiday schedule and I guess animal control, which I don't know what all we can do at this moment. We're going to have to try to do something.
What animal control?
Oh yeah, I know. Well, it's actually, we've dovetailed back, and I'm sure that Kelly and Sonia and you, Dr. Acuff, will remember when we went through this before.
Dump truck pulling it?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Well, apparently we're having
Yeah, we've got
double issues with the sheriff's department. It brought up at budget last night that
Somebody's talking. I can't hear nothing.
Well, Doctor, I think someone was talking over Dr. Acuff. Go ahead, Dr. Acuff.
oh, then Mike's muted, so it's him. He's on the phone.
Okay.
I think we're having two issues with the sheriff's department. One was brought up last night quite adamantly about SROs. The sheriff's department claims there's one. The Carter County School Systems claims there's 3 that they're down. And so we're also down animal control officers. So I don't know what's going on over there, but there seems to be folks missing in action.
Well, I realize when we go back to what was going on before, it was a real concern for the commission that the liability of having, Shannon or some of those people at the shelter go out. And so I don't think we want to go down that road again, do we?
No, we don't.
But at the same time, we cannot have some form of animal control, out here. Hold that thought and let me try to call our illustrious director, okay?
Okay.
I hope she's going to get on with us in a moment.
She's in the process of logging in now.
Thank you, Miss Abby.
Oh, that's
for all you
great.
do.
Thank you, Abby. I appreciate it. All righty. There you are. Are you in with us? You're muted.
I'm here.
There you go. Well, welcome to the show.
Well, thanks so much. Thanks for having us.
Well, that's good. I guess we'll go ahead now and officially get started here. Shannon, if you would call the roll of the folks that are here so we have it on record.
Sure. Chairman Mike Barnett,
Present.
Dr. Bob Acuff,
Present.
Kelly Collins,
Present.
Sonja Color, Kim
She's
Birchfield.
muted, but she's there.
All right, I seen her waving back there. Kim Birchfield,
Here.
there he is. Mike Simmerly
Present.
and Mr. Wes Frazier.
Here.
Very good. All is present.
All righty. I did not seem to get the minutes, Shannon. I don't know if my computer didn't quite receive them or what it is, but did the rest of you all get your minutes?
No.
Yes, I did.
I
You
think I
did.
got him. Hang on.
I got him.
Well, as with most things concerning me, I'm going to fly by the seat of my pants. You all that have minutes, look them over and tell me if there's anything that we need to change or anything that is urgent we need to discuss. We just need to count the drawer. That's all we got to do is count the door, and I'll run reports.
I'm sitting here looking at them. I don't see nothing.
The little drawer over there. I mean, it needs to be counted. Yes. Yeah, the top one. Okay. So I guess we'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Who
I'll
seconded
second.
that? Okay.
Who seconded?
Acuff.
Okay, that is the Robert Acuff, I believe, as the screen shows. All in favor, I guess aye, and we'll go on.
Aye.
Okay, Shannon,
yeah,
we'll turn
Chairman
you
Barnett?
loose.
Chairman Barnett,
Yes,
I will bring a copy by tomorrow and I'll pick up last month's and you can sign these.
I've got it. I've got it signed. Yes, I have you an extra copy in my truck from last month that I've dated and signed.
We
Okay.
kept missing each other, but I'll try to come by tomorrow.
Well, that's okay. If you want to bring cookies or anything, I'm sure the guys will appreciate it. So go
I
ahead
got
there.
you. I got you.
Go ahead there, Shannon.
Okay, for some shelter updates, the old business, I have contacted Trademark once again, and they have not started any. The leak, the valve is still shut off on the new dog kennels. So
We've lost her, haven't we?
She's frozen in time.
sure he's waiting on the plumber as well.
Okay, we've got you back, but you're having real sporadic service.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
We can hear
Can
you.
you hear me?
And we
Yes.
can
Okay.
see you.
So Trademark has not gotten back with me to let me know anything else. When they're going to be able to fix the leak or how they're going to fix the leak other than busting up the with Trademark at this time. I know it's still under warranty. We've been fighting this for months. Leak needs to be fixed before cold weather gets here. I don't know how much concrete you can bust up and refix during the cold weather, but now yesterday after all the rain, Wendy, when she was washing the key, she had pure muddy water coming out. She couldn't even fill the dog water up because of the muddy water that was coming through the system over there. So I mentioned that to Travis as well. The heating system, the air conditioning, the ventilation system seems to be inside the shelter. Our numbers right now, we're at 94 cats and kittens, and we're running around 25 dogs. We did take a van full this morning to LMU. All of our services that's done at LMU at this time is at in the spring, when we start sending animals to LMU for the spring semester, I think the fee at this time, as they've calculated, will be $10 per pet. So they let us know if they need cats or if they need dogs, so that the next couple of dates we have are for dogs only. We are still going to ASPCA of Asheville. The count as current is around 125 cats that we've done through our fair. And every time that we're taking some cats, we're also taking some of our shelter cats as well. When people don't show in with a shelter cat, and we know, that's going to be times that we're not going to have 25 ferals, but the community has been very religious. When they signed up, they brought the cats unless they have escaped. She brought us the same 5 the following week. So we just happened to recognize the cats. So we sent her back home, those 5 in with 5 of our cats. So the feral cat program is doing absolutely wonderful. Great community response. Our staff members at the shelter have all remained healthy. We're thankful for that. We are still doing our COVID cleaning throughout, the the day. We are still working by appointments only to make sure that we have social distancing between the people that's coming in for adoptions. All in all, our shelter's doing well. We have, I mean, the animals are coming in, the animals are going, you know, back out into great homes. And from time to time, we are doing adoption events just because we have such a list of animals that needs to come back into the shelter.
What is the status right now on your staffing? You were able to replace the people you lost. What kind of inmate help do you have? That stuff.
So we did replace the 2 girls that we lost, and we did lose 2 girls due to pay. They both left because they found a job making more. One's a single mom. I cannot hold it against her for going making more money on a, you know, another job. So both of them are making more money where they're at, and you know, I totally understand why they left. We hated to lose those 2, but we do have 2 girls that's helping us now. Joy is getting really overloaded up front with the phone calls from the feral cat program. We're getting a lot of phone calls that have called 911. Some
Okay, good. Well, what did you want to do on your holiday schedule? I know that's part of it.
So looks like my internet went out again, did it? It's off and on. So Joy being overloaded up front with the 911 calls, not 911 calls, but people who's called 911 and they're not getting a response, and so they're calling the shelter trying to get us to come out and get the animals, and it's just kind of been a very hectic time for her up front. So we are looking into placing someone up there with her to help answer the phone. We have looked into a second line. A second line's not going to do us any good unless we have somebody up there to answer the phone. We did have an issue with our phone line that if Joey was on the phone speaking with someone, it would smell, and then it would tell them that the mailbox was full. So we did call the phone communications.
Yeah,
Jason's been out. He checked the phone lines. He has back on Thursday to add some more stuff to the phone lines.
Well, we have a pause.
We can get her some help up there.
I'll be glad when we get back to normal.
For a while. Go
Me
ahead,
too.
Wes.
Yeah.
Wes, I
Yeah.
cut you off. What did you say?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I just said I'd be glad when we get back to normal where we can meet in person.
Well, yeah. Well, if I didn't mess up the windows for Mr. Simmerly, we probably could meet in his large meeting room. We are going
Well,
to
there you go. That could be the next
He
meeting.
has
Yeah.
a rather large piece of property. I'm sure he's willing to do like a pig roast if you ladies would be interested in maybe bringing a side item.
Now it's even getting better. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Barnett.
Anytime, Michael. Shannon, what was you wanting to close down during the holidays? How's that look for your staff?
So our holiday schedules, I mean, I put in the budget for staff that had to work the holidays. They will get paid for working the holidays. So when they work now, instead of getting comp out with this COVID thing, we don't know how long it's going to last, and you know how long it's going to be before they can use their comp. So we just went ahead. I put in the line item to go ahead and just pay those guys out. I think.
Okay, are you going to shut down any extra days during Thanksgiving and Christmas? on in?
The holidays is Thursday, Sunday. I can shut down, and that will give a few staff members have to have a crew in there on every day for cleaning, feeding. So we will rotate it. We will give them as much time off as possible. Anybody volunteers to take those first and fill the schedule in as needed. And it also depends upon how many trustees from the sheriff's department as well.
So are you getting many of them right now?
So we do, we usually have at least one. Most of the time they have extra on the weekend, then they'll send us an extra one on the weekend.
Okay. Shannon, what do you think the end result's going to be on animal control? What does the board need to do, or what does you know, the committees that maybe looks at the sheriff's department, what can we do, or what can some of our board members do to help us?
So I'll be real honest. I have spoken with Sheriff Luntz in the past month regarding a case that was called upon was attacked by two aggressive dogs. In the process of the attack, the guy broke his finger. This guy is in a city and is seeking re-election.
What you got?
So he had reached out to me. He spoke to Joy up front, and he said that he was going to make this a big story in one of the newspapers. So I did reach out. Is Lunsford and Sheriff Lunsford did go up to the address. He did see the two aggressive dogs. He called back. We didn't have an animal control officer on call that day. So he called and asked if the shelter could meet him up there and get the aggressive dogs. In between the time of me getting staff members ready to go pick them up, someone had called him from the address and said that they was removing that property. The lady had moved, so those dogs was taken care of. Later, I found two dogs had actually bitten two other people who actually had the rabies vaccinations because the lady did not have her dogs vaccinated. So we're getting calls. Someone's telling them out in the community, call the animal shelter. They'll come and get them. We don't have animal control on call today. And that's true. I don't have staff for that. I don't have, you know, if it's a dog, I have sent my staff out lately. The Elizabethton Police Department just a few times. You know, they had an aggressive dog. They'd arrested a lady and had aggressive. The officer couldn't get through at the shelter because Joy was tied up on the phone. He came to the shelter and asked, could you please help us come and get this dog? And it was over in town. I said, if you don't mind the wait 15, 20 minutes, the parking lot was full. Everybody was welcome in the shelter. It was just a crazy day there, but he stood right there and he waited. He went over and we got the dog and we brought it back. So I spoke with the sheriff today, and he is, he's had a surgery, so actually in the office, but he said that they are having trouble, you know, with some staffing at the sheriff's department. He also stated, you know, that they're having trouble to commit to animal. I asked him if he was even entertained the thought of hiring an animal control officer that was their duty owning. He said absolutely not. He did want to entertain the thought of having a specified animal control officer. He said, I said, you know, I kind of need to know when they're on, when they're off. Reach out to me. And Captain Trevitt called and he said, they were having a meeting at 5 today, recruit some more in, but he couldn't make any promises. There's several where they are asking for anyone that's off that day if they want to pick it up. He said, but he's having a real issue with staffing. So, having staffing issues, but when we've got aggressive calls out here, an elderly lady who's called about a dog that showed up at her house that won't let her outside or tripping her up, we need to have consistency, in my opinion.
Okay, board, what do you think?
Well, one thing that I think county commissioners can do is to ask Shannon, tell me how many months, or send us an email, how many months you have been out of commission with animal care officers. And we need to ask for those dollars back from the sheriff's department, number one. Number two, obviously, I think it's becoming a real issue with the revolving door at the sheriff's department. We have obviously animal care issues. We have obviously SROs, which doesn't impact this particular group, but we're being promised things by the sheriff's office and what they're supposed to be following through that they are not doing. So,
Agree.
and I don't know. I think the city has a dog in this fight too, because of the fact that you all are part of this board, and as we've made the statements many times, that this is one of the things that working positively for city-county partnerships. And I don't know if the city mayor would be willing to write a letter to Dexter and maybe we can get the interim mayor of Carter County to say, hey, this is an issue. We've got to have some resolve on this. What's your plan for it?
I did, I had thought about having until that I found out Sheriff Lunsford was out, but having a meeting with Jason from the city, Chief Shaw, maybe some of the city members, Daniel from the city, Sheriff Lunsford may be the one who's over animal control at the jail, which is Captain Trivet, I think. Some of our board members, and just sitting down and talking about, what is best, how are we going to solve this issue? It's just a matter of time before we have a lawsuit in the county over an aggressive animal, over something that could have been totally prevented if we had all just came together and fix the problem. So I think a meeting to discuss what we need to do is well warranted. I don't know. I know that Sheriff Lunsford says, they have 2 shifts. Well, Captain Trevitt told me they have 2 shifts that are covered over there, but I think there's 2 shifts that's not covered. So for animal control, but when they don't have officers, they'll pull the animal control officer in to be a corrections officer inside the jail. So, and he told me today, he said, we're only trying to help out and we're not coverage for the county. So if I understood Sheriff Lunsford, that's what he told me today. So, we need to, I think it would be well warranted to sit down with the city, the county, and just discuss, how we're going to go forward and how we're going to resolve the issue.
I agree, Shannon, but somebody's radio or something keeps cutting in and out, and I can't hear half of the stuff being said.
Hear it, but I don't know whose it is.
Sounds like a scanner.
Have a scanner. Looks like most everybody's muted now, so
Yeah.
Okay.
did that help?
Yeah, I can hear better now.
Okay.
Yeah, I can get with Daniel. We actually had a discussion last week about animal control, and we've been asking our police officers to kind of help us out as much as they can on a lot of this. And so far, I don't know how it looks at you all, but I'm hoping it's helping a little bit. But we have talked about it and trying to step up a little bit to help a little more with animal control.
Okay. Yeah, I think if we all just sat down and talk about it, I think you can come up with a resolution.
Shannon, I think it's just a matter of time until the sheriff turns this over back to the animal shelter.
Yeah.
Correct.
We need to have a plan in place.
We can start working on that. If they're finding an animal control officer, and like I told them, I gave a dollar amount in the budget, and they didn't like my dollar amount. So, we can go through it again. We can get another dollar amount, but I'm staff like the sheriff's department does, so I can't work off of $38,000 to have 24-hour animal control on emergency basis. There's no way I can. So one full-time, one part-time, and if something happened, those guys could not, then I would allow one of the members, preferably one of our males, that would be on call for animal control, but the hours would be deducted from week work at the shelter. So, we have a temporary schedule that I think would work. But my concern now is if we get in sticky situations, this within the past it had bite wounds all over it. In fact, running down, oozing, just horrible. You could tell it'd really been in a undesirable situation. And the people that brought the animal in signed it in, said the man who gave it to them. She described some deplorable conditions that the puppy was living in. At one time, we were told there were 22 there. So in the meantime, the following day, the sheriff's department gets a phone call that the man somebody had stolen 2 puppies. In the process, while an officer was there, he found the deplorable conditions. But the man went and had an altercation with the 2 that stole these puppies. So in the meantime, we sent this one out to a vet, which they stated, the dog had been, had several bites, several wounds on it. So, we're still trying with that one. But these are situations that we need somebody to get these animals out immediately. Another few days, this puppy may not have made it. So, these are situations that we need the sheriff's department's help, but we have out there. If are they going to be able to respond to our calls with us? I don't know. So something I would like to discuss with the sheriff's department. I did talk to 911 dispatch, and they tell me over there, look, we are getting blessed out here because we don't have a animal control officer to send out. It's going to be a little while before we can get a road officer out there, because we're having some issues throughout the county. So, before that I hire somebody or we hire somebody, I'd like to know that person's going to have a backup down the road and they're not going to be sent into some of these houses or these undesirable situations without an officer present. So I think it's something, we really need to think about, we really need to talk about. We need to get a schedule together. I'll be glad to give you guys a copy of the schedule I had before for an animal control officer. But again, it will be going back through, 911. I think that's the best to do is when people have an emergency, call 911. And if the sheriff's department agree, they can send a deputy out first. And if that deputy deems it necessary, then they'll call animal control out. There's several different options out there, but I think we just need to talk to the city, the county, law enforcement, and let's just see what their ideas are. But yes, I ultimately, Sheriff Lunsford said, I'm going to do this until you get a plan in place, and then he was going to turn it over. Is that not what he told us in the
Yes.
Yes, that's what he said.
Yeah.
Well, definitely if we have a sit down with different groups, I definitely want the county attorney there. Because we're
Okay.
walking a fine line, not only in terms of liability for not being able to address the situation when animals attack individuals, and you get they get their lawyer and bring suit against the county. But we also have a liability issue of the county when employees go out who are not suited to do this job.
That's correct.
So where do we want to start? We want to try to go ahead and
Sure.
get a time together where we can pull city, county together, maybe in the county conference room, city conference room. I know we're Zooming everything, but it's very hard to get everybody really where you can watch body language and get the feeling we need doing what we're doing here.
I agree.
So do we think that maybe this is going to be something in November that we'll see some easing of these restrictions? What feeling are you getting from your city or county leaders?
Mike, we've done talked, we're looking at going back to regular meetings, city council in November.
Well, very good. What about county?
There has not been a decision made other than the fact that on the 23rd of November, we will have a face-to-face meeting to interview mayoral candidates at Hampton High School. There will be physically distancing, the public's invited, and we will set it up in a way that folks can participate if they so desire. I think it is also planned to be live streamed. So I don't know why we can't do something like this for this instance. We could do it in the courtroom, depending on how the size is, or we can pick a high school or an elementary school gym.
Well, sure. I don't think we need to just kick, I ain't going to use that term. I don't think that we need to put this off, too long before we try to get all the parties together, because if we're going to try to plan as a board and Shannon's going to have direction as a director about taking animal control back, there's got to be a understanding of the needs, not only that Shannon has, but we're going to need structurally at the shelter and equipment wise and everything else. We may be fine there, we may not. I think there's going to be some things we're going to have to look at and training and expenditures and everything else. And I realize anytime we talk about spending money, especially with the commission, and that's not anything against you find 3 people, but we get a pushback. But I think once you get the attorney telling them that you're looking at liability issues that may, offset that considerably, maybe it'll wake them up. I don't know.
Yeah.
So how do we go about it? Shannon, do you want to reach out to city manager or have Wes or someone and see what their calendar, Mike or one of them, look at and see what the calendar holds for them, and then see maybe what Sheriff Lunsford and then some of our board and the attorney can do.
Be best if we go ahead and just have a look at our calendars now, get a projected date that I can propose to the others who's not here. And we'll go forward. If that date fits, if it doesn't, you know, we're back to square one. We'll pick another date and keep everybody advised. So, I mean, I'm willing to, if y'all want to give me some days that would be better, or I'll be glad, you know, to send out an email every 10. And we'll go
Well,
from there.
certainly from the county side, and I'll let Kelly and Sonja speak, we would be better at the end of the month because, as you all know, many of the county committees meet for the first 3 weeks, and then we have, you know, on that third Monday, the commission meeting. So I think for us, the fourth week of the month would be a little bit better because we wouldn't have conflicts.
Can we
City.
wear our Halloween outfits if we meet the last week? I know that would be important maybe for Kelly and Sonia.
What about somewhere around the last weekend of October? Or are you looking at November? Well, sooner the better.
I would rather, if we could in October, at least get dialogue started. Do you
Look
all
at the
agree?
27th, 26th, 27th, 28th, somewhere in that week.
Pick a date. We'll put.
Have you and Kelly heard if we're having a planning meeting on the 27th? That would be the only thing that would be a conflict. Of course,
I
that's
have not
early.
heard.
There is going to be a planning meeting that day at 3 o'clock. I spoke with Director Schutler earlier today. That week, we've also got election office. The election office is going to be using our courtroom in the evenings for a couple of days early in the week for training. So if we go for that week, it would need to be probably Thursday or Friday.
Thank you.
Thank you, Abby.
Thanks, Abby.
Thank you. Yes. Well, is Thursday or Friday workable? I don't want to overwork you all, but at the same time, I would like to sort of get something going. And then we've got Thanksgiving going the last week of November. So that means people are traveling or maybe doing other plans. What do you all think about that?
I don't
Thursday or
think
Friday?
I would try for a Friday, especially the Friday before Thanksgiving. I mean, Halloween. I know they had
Halloween.
Thing at the
What
sheriff's
about the
department.
city courtroom?
The city, Kelly, excuse me, I didn't hear you.
What about the city courtroom?
We can tie it up. Yeah, we can use it. I'll just have to get a hold of Jennifer and put the date down after we come up with it.
Yeah. I guess that other alternative, right, that other alternative would be the week of November the 16th, particularly the 17th, 18th, 19th. That's after commission meeting, and I don't know, Wes and Mike, Kim, if you all have a council meeting that Thursday or not, the 19th.
That'd be the 12th.
So that
back
will
again.
be the 12th.
Yeah,
It will be when?
the 12th.
The council will meet on the 12th?
Uh-huh.
Well, that's option. So what does the board think?
I'm not sure that I could attend the week of the 16th. I'm going to be going to Wilmington to help with my sister. She's having some surgery. So November's kind of sketchy for me.
What about that October, the Friday,
29th?
October the 20, Thursday's 29th, Friday's the 30th.
Well,
Something like that.
Looks good.
I could do the 29th if it's necessary, if you all want me to be there.
What month?
October the 29th.
Okay.
Abby, do you know the dates that they're going to be using the courtroom for the election training?
It is the Monday and Tuesday of that week.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
So the 29th is open, right, Abby?
That is correct.
All right.
Shoot for the
guess that-
29th. That's all you can do. There's going to be times you're going to get everybody there. Sometimes you're not. I mean, we just get what you can and just go with it.
Or we could also, Wes, look at, and Abby, correct me if we've got something on this date. I know Tuesday, November 3rd is election day. That would be a poor choice. But Monday, November the 2nd, I don't think there are any county commission committee meetings.
Education and landfill.
Yeah, I was gonna say landfill meets on the first Monday.
Okay. But don't you all meet earlier in the day?
No, 6 o'clock.
6? Okay, I'm sorry.
All right.
So is that the one date we've settled on? Is the 29th of October if we can?
Sounds good.
I'm good with that.
All right, we can try that.
Yeah, well, raise it up the flagpole and let's see what we get.
Well, at least if we can get some of us there. And of course, we don't know exactly what Jason and Dexter maybe have on their plate, but we can always find out.
Yep. Shannon, can you contact them and see what's going on? Will you have time?
Oh, absolutely. I'll send an email out and tell them that it's session and we would like to have Sheriff Lunsford, Chief Shaw, and Captain Trivet from the Sheriff's Department that's over animal control at this time. We'll ask for their input. Another thing is, animal control is one thing, but getting these laws passed for over a year is going to be substantial to the shelter running animal control correctly and getting people to be responsible for rabies vaccination. The guy that was injured at Assembly Creek that had the broken femur, his two other guys that bicycled up through there with him actually had the rabies series because the same two dogs bit him and they didn't have their rabies vaccination. So, animal control is one thing, but having some authority to make people be responsible is a whole different issue. And I think that's very warranted. I think we'll see some here before long of, how bad some of the stuff is throughout the county.
Well, Shannon, make sure when you do your email that you include Hardin on that. I want him at that meeting.
Okay.
Please, ma'am.
Okay.
I can try to get Roger if we need Roger there.
I mean, I don't think it would hurt at all to have Roger there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would agree.
I'll see him tomorrow and I'll talk to him the 29th. Okay.
Righty, good deal. All right, what else have we got?
I'll make a motion that we keep the same chairperson and vice chair.
Let's say what now?
I'll second.
Up on that. And Dr. Acuff has left.
No, I'm still here.
I thought maybe you fell out of the chair.
It has to be a voice vote, so I'll start. Yes.
Yes.
I think everybody's yes.
All right. Yes. At least I'm not on your all's hate list. Thank you.
No, we're very thankful to have you on this board. Thankful to have all of you on this board.
No,
I think
sure.
it's a good board. Y'all have been very supportive for the animal shelter. Anytime there's been an issue, y'all were in first to respond. So for me and my staff, we greatly appreciate each and every one of you.
We appreciate you all. And
Yes,
this board,
Shannon,
I
we
think,
do.
this board is working good together. And, I'm proud of what we're doing. It's tough on some of us, but, we're all trying to do what we can do.
We appreciate that. Appreciate the hard work from the city and the county both.
Yeah, and every step we take forward will benefit people and our animals going forward from now on. And so, you know, we have issues, but we've made a lot of progress. I think most everybody that visits our shelter or has been over there and seen the cats' playroom and the condition of a lot of the animal holding areas are very pleased with how hard our people work. You know, we haven't had outbreaks of infection and other diseases as some of our neighboring communities have had. It's not perfect, and we know it's not. But you know, the staff and Shannon have worked extremely hard. They're always willing to answer any questions we've got. We've just got to try to do everything we can to make their lives a little easier. And,
Absolutely.
and hopefully we can do that.
Right.
So Shannon, find out what you can do on the 29th. See if we can get at least some of the real important parties there, and we'll try to all get together. And then do we have anything else that we want to discuss? The Friends group is going to do a little bit of landscaping updates down there with Shannon and some of her staff. So you'll be seeing some stuff going forward. Maybe that will improve a little bit of the outside and some stuff down there, but we're still in the planning stages of that and getting some stuff together. I guess our next meeting would be November 10th. Is that correct?
I think you're correct.
I would
And-
like to add that there's been several donations that came in for Mr. Rusty Barnett, and we
Good.
appreciate those. And we've been in contact with his wife, Kim, and I sent Marcia a message that once that we get all of them, everything listed, we have been sending out thank you notes for everyone who donated to the shelter on Mr. Barnett's behalf. He's greatly missed. We loved Rusty. He came by and visited the shelter, ate a few cookies and cake with us from time to time. So, you know, he's always a good supporter of us, and we appreciate, you know, them sending their donations to the shelter. And still we're receiving some donations. We just had, you know, a call today about their mail was returned, their donation, because it was the wrong address was put for Memorial Funeral Home. But I did contact them, and you know, the donations are still coming in. So once we get that list, we'll give that to Kim and Marcia so that they can also write their thank you notes as well. But just wanted everybody to know we're thankful to have it, the donations. We're sad. We miss him dearly, miss him coming by, or miss him going by. And when we're at the courthouse and just seeing him in the mayor's office, and it's a little hard to even walk by there or go in there now. So.
Yes, we all miss him. You know, he really cared about our community and our people, I really think, and he had a good heart in him, and really tried to mend a lot of fences, I think. And, you know, I think our community is better for having him in there the time we had him.
Amen.
Absolutely.
Yes.
All
I
righty.
agree.
Well, I'll entertain a motion then.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
All righty. Kim, wake up. We're going to leave now.
You all have a good one.
Thank
Don't let
you
him stay
very much.
asleep.
We appreciate you. And thank you, Abby, for all you do to help us.
Yes, Abby. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
I'll be by tomorrow, Mike.
Okay. We'll see you then. I'm here all day.